for this pressure. Yeah, I was built for this pressure. Yo, yeah. I was built for this pressure. I don't fold, I apply every set back a settle now.
Crash the Party, episode 28. My name is Rick Drogo. I don't need promo. 1v4, knock your whole squad solo. Give me them gunshots. Give me one more. That's how I'm feeling today. I'm so thankful today. I'm so grateful. You know, gratitude is an action word. That's what I was taught. If you're truly grateful, people around you will know it, especially if they're the ones you're grateful for. You know, I said, if you want to be great, you got to do great things. Somebody else might have said it. I don't know. Once before. I'm sure they did. But I said it. I'm the one writing it in stone. And today, for me, that looks like being a better husband and a better dad. Always. Continuously. That means, for me, that means responding properly instead of reacting negatively to my family. When I'm home, I want to respond to them properly instead of reacting negatively. And that's where it all starts. Because peace or chaos, all is going to, in my household, is going to ultimately stem from me in my state of mind, my emotional state. So I know that I can be great and I can affect and infect 5 people very powerfully every day. That's huge. How much of the effect that I can have on 5 different people. Okay, and 4 of them are going to go out into the world and who knows what. And they're going to become someone largely based upon how I treat them over the next few years. So, when you're a parent, being great can look like just the regular stuff that you do in the house. And so, anyways, that's what that looks like for me today. I'm really, with the politics, it is real nasty. This is a real nasty game they're playing out here, everybody. And that I was warned that would happen, that I would see this. And it's never ending. So today we're going to watch 2 clips. They're both short. They're like 4 minutes. One of them is talking about the Trump, people are calling it slush fund, where he's trying to get money for victims of January 6th. And it sounds like he got it. I'm not sure. I haven't watched the whole clip yet. And then the other one is about Iran, a statement they made recently that is a big deal, and it's kind of scary to me. So let's go ahead and check it out. First, we're going to watch this video from News Nation. I like News Nation. They seem to be pretty down the center. And this has to do with the slush fund, the Trump money. Trump money.
But we begin the hour with a question and an answer America may not like. The question's an old one. Who benefits? The answer is the president and anyone potentially with the last name Trump, and perhaps anyone who committed crimes on January 6th in his name. The Justice Department now has set aside nearly $2 billion to compensate the president and parties who were prosecuted for political or ideological reasons. The Attorney General says that could include men and women who attacked the Capitol and uniformed officers defending it. Justice Department also gave the president and his family what looks and sounds like a pardon by any other name over tax issues or any matters that are currently pending or that could have been pending before.
This, to me, sounds very bizarre. $2 billion? there's just so much going on in the world today that you could do with $2 billion and it would make a huge difference. I mean, how much is Trump worth? Let's see. How much money is Trump worth? How much money you got, boy? We pocket watching from the Metroplex. 6 billion. 6.1 billion real-time estimates as of May 20th, 2026. Bloomberg and other trackers have put similar figures in the 6.5 to 7 plus billion dollar range. That is just insane. What do you need more money for at that point? I mean, and you're the president. And these people from January 6th, who was that? Like, I don't know. Let me take a step back, because I don't know enough to get that emotionally involved. And I think that is a very good point, I just made. So many people get so worked up over something that you don't really know. You don't know all the facts. You don't know everything. And even if you did, something like this, okay, yeah, I understand how politics trickles down and affects us. I mean, I get a bit of that lately, I see. But this ultimately is not worth it disrupting my emotions. Very simple. And there's a lot of that in life. People get very upset and emotional over something that should not have any rule over your being in your body, especially your mind.
Any government department. It's an astonishing legal shield, really, for the president. The Justice Department, led by the president's former personal lawyer, and has now delivered his former client immunity. The country that was attacked on January 6th now may end up paying restitution to some who attacked it. We have Geraldo Rivera with strong thoughts on this as well. He's here with the Daily Take. And
wow.
What do you...
That's a good point. Technically, America and the government was attacked that day. Like, people were, bombing on the set, right? They were tearing down a public office. And now they have to pay possibly those people? Is that what I'm understanding? That's crazy.
What do you even say about something like this? They can say it's an anti-weaponization fund, and the administration is trying to say it could be anybody applying. But what do you say about it?
It's a sue and settle slush fund. You sue a friendly administration, you get a settlement, and you walk away with a big profit. I think it's outrageous, and I'm shocked that there's not more general outrage. Now, I love the president. I really like him as a person. I supported him throughout his time on the defensive in his first term with the Russia, and then the impeachment. People coming after him constantly. 2 years made his life a misery. Back in his first term. I'm against lawfare. I'm against the use of the legal process to harass your political opponents. But what the president has done here, Connell, it's shockingly blatant what he's done. He has created a slush fund to compensate victims of lawfare. In other words, he's created this slush fund that he presumably can dip into, or he has settled his lawsuit. He has settled his lawsuit in exchange for the creation of this slush fund. I want to be very accurate about this. So now you have the slush fund. Who, having been wronged by the government, has access to this slush fund? Basically anybody, but very specifically people who supported the president, maybe Peter Navarro, maybe Steve Bannon, maybe every single one of the rioters on January 6th, including those who punched the cops, who spit on the cops, who grabbed the cops. Just remember, I just ask everybody watching right now, remember how you felt when you were watching it for the very first time, before politics got into it, when you were watching what was going on there, should those people who were doing that
bizarre.
to Nancy Pelosi's office, going after Mike Pence, defecating in the Senate chamber, defiling that sacred place, how do you feel about them? Do you think now, having been pardoned, that they should have the right to sue, or not even to sue, to go to the slush fund and say, give me some cash. How about $1 million? How about $1 billion? How about it is absolutely outrageous. It's your money, ladies and gentlemen, and this scheme, this larcenous scheme, is made even worse by the fact that as of last Monday, a couple of days ago, Monday, you cannot, anything that the Trump administration has done before Monday, last Monday, a couple of days ago Monday, anything they've done in terms of auditing or their taxes, their businesses, their trust funds, everything cut off.
That was added.
There's no
we didn't even know
investigation
about
permitted.
that at first.
Wow.
No further investigation.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below.
I don't even know what to say, honestly. It does sound like a blatant abuse of power. Or, I guess if you agree with it, use of power. If you think that's legit, that this is, there's nothing wrong with this, I'd love to hear why. Help me understand. Put it in the comment section so I can see another perspective that I'm probably missing, if that's the scenario. And I could look into it more, because this does sound crazy and really unacceptable, to be quite honest, from what I saw on January 6th. All right. So this is a clip talking about the warning that recently came from Iran when they supposedly found out. Trump says, I was an hour away from striking. We were going to go ahead full assault on Iran, but we went ahead and postponed it. It sounds like Iran basically saying, you better not. If you do, we're going to take this somewhere you didn't know it was going to go. Let's see.
Welcome back to The Takeout. Iran's Revolutionary Guard Corps today warned that if the United States or Israel resume military attacks, it would push the war, quote, beyond the region. President Trump, for his part today, said the conflict is in its, quote, final stages. The president and founder of the Eurasia Group, Ian Bremmer, joins me now. Ian, I promise we'll get to Iran in a second. But last week, President Trump was in China. This week, Russia's Vladimir Putin is in China. Help me do what you do best. Separate the signal from the noise, because there's lots of noisy visuals from Trump in Beijing last week and Putin there this week. What's key about what's going on this week?
Putin doesn't have many friends. He just had his victory day parade, and almost no one showed up. He had to shut down the internet, getting people off Telegram and onto a state-based network, and it's because the war's not going well.
How's Putin going to be shorter than she? I know she can't be tall. Right? Let's take a look here. How tall is Vladimir Putin? That boy looks like he's 5'2". That boy DJ Vlad. DJ Vladimir. Come on, Grok. How tall is Putin? 5'7". Okay, huh? She might be actually. You know, I saw a thing that said she had put Trump in a shorter chair. Look at him. He might be in them. Them shoes actually do look kind of thick. Look at them things right there. He might have on a couple inches up in there. Trump is 6'3"? That can't be right. Ain't no way Trump is 6'3".
Because the war's not going well and the Ukrainians can hit him harder. So he's showing up in Beijing to say, hey, I'm still relevant. I'm going to be welcomed by the most powerful leader of the world, even if it's not the most powerful country, Xi Jinping in China, right after Trump goes. There wasn't much that was substantive that was agreed to between the two countries. The Russians desperately want to build energy infrastructure to take more of their energy to China, and that continues to be a very slow and difficult negotiation.
Ian, evaluate where you believe things are with Iran. The president, according to you, has issued 6 ultimatums to restart the war. None of them have come to pass. Do you believe that is because he is speaking and negotiating from a place of net weakness?
Well, you know what they say, Major, 7 times the charm. So let's see what happens when he does it again. But no, the reality is that Trump has shown that he doesn't want to escalate militarily. He's warned by allies in the region that it will cause much more damage. And his own military advisors are saying these aren't really good and effective options. So he's brought all this military to the region. He's paying for them, and the soldiers are out there, and there are thousands and thousands of special forces, but not a lot for them to do that would create a more constructive outcome than where the United States is right now. And so that continues to be fruitless negotiations, endless back and forth, but very little willingness of the Iranians to accept a deal that would make Trump look like he'd gotten more from the Islamic Republic than the old Iranian nuclear deal, the JCPOA, that Trump in his first administration unilaterally withdrew from.
And Ian, there are op-eds being written by those in the MAGA world urging the president to, quote, finish the job. I well remember when George Herbert Walker Bush succeeded perceptibly in the first Gulf War, but then there was a residual sense that he did not finish the job. Is that both a strategic and political peril that the president is looking at?
I think that those are op-eds from a relative minority of MAGA supporters. I think most MAGA supporters want Trump to end wars, to be a peacemaker. That's why before Iran started, he was going around the world telling everybody how many wars he had brought to a close. This one he thought was going to be over very quickly. It hasn't been. He has no one to blame. And, you know, if you can't get the regime out, if you can't rescue the Iranian people, then every further day that you are continuing with this blockade is another day that you're costing his voters at the pump, his voters at the supermarket. And they're going to show up or not in the midterms as a consequence of that. So, I mean, look, not many people read those op-eds compared to 10, 20 years ago. Not many people write those op-eds compared to 10, 20 years ago.
Ian Bremmer, always great stuff. I appreciate it very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Major.
Well, I don't feel like they really answered our question. My question was, I'm sorry, not answered our question. They didn't really talk about what was the caption, which was what Iran said they would do when they found out Trump, was supposedly going to attack. And this is what they said. In the event the aggression against Iran is repeated, the regional war that was promised will this time be extended beyond the region, and our crushing blows will bring you to ruin in places you cannot imagine. So that's not good. That sounds like Iran is about that action. And I don't know if that means they're going to attack us here in America, or if they mean they're going to attack other countries, over there. I don't know. Scary stuff. This is why we don't want war. But it doesn't sound like they're scared. I'll say that. Obviously, it could be a bluff. All right, clip of the day is the Teflon Don, POTUS with the notice, talking about Bibi Netanyahu. Let's hear what he has to say.
What have you said to Prime Minister Netanyahu about Iran and how long to hold off on strikes?
He's fine. He'll do whatever I want him to do. He's a very, very good man. He'll do whatever I want him to do, and he's a great guy. To me, he's a great guy. Don't forget, he was a wartime prime minister, and he's not treated right in Israel, in my opinion. I'm right now at 99% in Israel. I could run for prime minister, so maybe after I do this, I'll go to Israel, run for prime minister. I had a poll this morning. I'm 99%, so that's good. But no, he's a wartime prime minister, and I just don't think they treat him well.
Well, everybody's saying Bibi Netanyahu's the one in charge, but Trump says that's not the case. I don't know. What do you have to say? People tell me all the time, sending me messages about Israel is in charge and running the country, telling Donald Trump what to do. He's the one telling us to attack Iran. But my question is, why are we not attacking Iran then? That's what doesn't make sense to me. Why are we at a standstill? If Israel's in charge and they're telling us to attack, why aren't we attacking? I'd love to hear your thoughts, your theories. And tomorrow, one of the things I want to look into is Israel and Bibi Netanyahu, his history, because people tell me other stuff about him. Trump says he's a good guy, and they treat him poorly over there. So I think that'd be worth looking into, and I might do that tomorrow. I also have another video I want to look at, and it's about alcohol. In one of my earlier episodes, the topic came up that alcohol maybe should be illegal. It's worse than marijuana. And somebody made a comment saying that crime would go up substantially and we would have a lot more problems if they made alcohol illegal. And I immediately thought about everything and I thought, wow, that sounds right, actually, if you think about the prohibition and what happened. So anyways, I had looked into some videos and I was thinking about watching them today, but I really wanted to check on these two topics. So anyways, that's it for today. Episode 28. We're in and we're out. This is how we do it. I'm going to be maybe doing some lives where I'm just kind of surfing the web looking up stuff. I'm not going to be expecting anything from anybody. It's just going to be me just coming on to the web and studying about politics. And if anybody jumps in and joins and has anything to say, then I will talk to you. We can interact, and that'd be cool. So anyways, thank you so much for spending this time with me. I love you so much, and I want you to be great today. Remember, all you need is to be better. Whatever it is, you can be better, but you got to want it. And nothing changes if nothing changes. So if you want something to change in your life, you can't keep doing what you've been doing. Boom. Love you. Have a good night. See you tomorrow.